This is the Garden of English. I'm Tim Freitas, and I am here to give you my 5 pointers to write a successful prose analysis on your AP exam, which happens to be tomorrow. So we will start with number 1, and that is using the prompt to your advantage. You can turn this prompt into a question before you read the passage, and it will make your reading comprehension easier as you go through that passage itself. What you want to do is you want to find where it says analyze and go to the end of the sentence. Typically, the AP exam prompt is worded something like this: analyze how an author uses literary elements and techniques to, and then there's something that comes after it. When you find that word to at the end of the prompt, you're going to then question everything that comes after it, and you're going to say, what can't I know? So, for example, if the prompt said analyze how the author uses literary elements and techniques to characterize, boom, insert character, what can't you know after the word to? It's the characterization of said character. And so the question becomes, what is the author's characterization of so-and-so? If they change it up a little bit and they say analyze how the author uses literary elements and techniques in order to highlight the importance of a social interaction, well, the question's going to be, what is the importance of the social interaction? And if you can answer that question that you generate from the prompt after you have actually read your passage, you are well on your way to being able to write a good paper. Because after that, you just need to explain how you got your answer with the text in the passage. So that's step number 1. You want to make sure that you can turn that prompt into a question. Number 2, I want to just encourage you to think about not writing a full intro paragraph. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have an intro paragraph, but I encourage you to use your thesis as the intro paragraph. A strong thesis is more than acceptable for an intro paragraph in a timed writing. You can trust me, I'm an AP reader. And I can tell you that by the time I get to the end of your paper, if you spent a million years developing the perfect intro paragraph, it means almost nothing to me. Now, if you want to spend time developing either an intro paragraph or a conclusion paragraph or any paragraph that's not fully analytical in nature, spend it on the conclusion. We'll talk about why in just a minute. So, step number 2, if you want to save time, your thesis can be your intro. Just make sure it's a strong thesis. And if you want help with that, you can actually see that in other videos that I've made. We'll have some links down below. So, number 3, we're going to talk about topic sentences. We have 2 pieces of advice for topic sentences. The first piece of advice for topic sentences is to consider using chronological phrases as you introduce ideas in your topic sentences. That's going to help you remember that you have to write through the whole passage as you read it. You don't want to just start in the middle and then go to the end and then go back to the beginning. That's not going to work. There's no order in that. There's no sophistication in that. So we want to make sure that we are working chronologically through the piece in order to answer the prompt that has been provided for us. So in our topic sentences, we might want to say things like the author begins by, the author then moves to, the author shifts to, the author concludes with. By the way, always remember, look for those shifts because good authors give a shift. Anyway, for the first bit of advice for the topic sentence, once again, it is include chronological information. It is going to help you as you organize your paper because you'll follow the organization of the passage. The other thing that I'd like to remind you about in your topic sentences is always including the word, a why factor in your topic sentences. So you might be able to identify what the author is doing with a literary element or technique, but you should always pair that with a why. You might say the author begins by presenting a narrator recounting her 5th grade summer, but I also want to know why. That will show that you have actually understood why that piece was being read. If you want to figure out a quick way to get whys into your topic sentences, use the phrase in order to. So we have the author begins by doing such and such in order to such and such. And each time you'll have what's being done in the text, why it's being done, and the rest of your paragraph is going to follow that. Where do I see what's being done in the text? And then how does that example show why the author is doing it? So a nice strong topic sentence is going to include chronological phrases and a why. Step number 4, or point number 4, I should say, is as you produce your commentary throughout your piece, you want to rely heavily on using the language of cause and effect. You should see the word because show up a lot in your commentary or other cause and effect language, such as consequently, due to, so that, since. All of this language suggests that you're talking about cause and effect, which is good because when we talk about what an author is doing in a piece, we are indeed explaining the effect of something. Now, we want to remember that commentary also refers back to the language that we put into our body paragraphs. So we want to see the word because show up there or any other cause and effect language and the textual evidence that we've included in our paragraphs. Now, because this is just a quick video, I would like to point out that all 5 of these points are covered in greater detail in other videos, and once again, those links are indeed below. Point or tip number 5 is about the conclusion. You want to make sure that your conclusion does not just summarize your paper. That is boring. You want your conclusion to be something that's rich and engaging and, above all else, universal. What this does is this helps add to the sophistication of your paper, because what you're suggesting with a universal conclusion is that although you have indeed read a piece that is fiction about a particular character in a particular place in time, you can actually tell why it is universally applicable to the lives of human beings. And that's why we actually study literature in the first place. So, quick recount here. The first thing you want to do is turn that prompt into a question. The second thing you want to do is to have a strong thesis as your intro so that you're not wasting time. The third thing you want to do is have a why in your topic sentences and have chronological wording in your topic sentences. It's going to guide your paragraphs. The fourth thing you want to do is make sure that you use the word because in your commentary. Don't just tell me, and this shows that the character is blank. Say, this shows that the character is blank because. That's going to move you to get to that 3 or 4 in that right-hand column, in those right-hand columns of the scoring guide. And number 5, once again, is make sure that your conclusions are universal. So I hope that you all have an excellent testing day. I wish you all the best of luck, even though I don't even believe in luck, but it's a kind gesture. And if you have any quick comments that I can, or questions that I can deal with tomorrow, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to them ASAP. Otherwise, take your test on Wednesday, go nail it, and get that college credit. Feel free to like and subscribe. We're trying to push towards 1,000 subscribers. We've got about 400 left to go. Follow us on Instagram and support the GOE in any way that you see fit. Always remembering that these videos are quite free. So you have a great day. You have a great day tomorrow, and go nail it.